Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are here to look at some stones. We left this morning early and now we have arrived here at Stonehenge. We're going to take a tour of Stonehenge, which is out in the distance over here. It's about 2 hours outside of London. So that's where we are today. And luckily for us, it stopped raining because it was raining this morning. It was very cloudy. It is still cold, but it's not raining. So we have a guide today and he's going to walk us through Stonehenge. Last time I was here was probably about 2016, 2015, something like that, which was a long time ago. But Emerson and Pam have never been here before, so this is their first time. So we're gonna take a tour. There's an example of some old buildings there. The earlier site that we stopped today, he was explaining, was the original site of where the inhabitants that built Stonehenge lived through archaeological diggings in the Neolithic era. Type of habitation that they found around the farms. So, and he was explaining that those inhabitants are most likely the people that built Stonehenge, because Stonehenge, I think, was used as a place of worship and not a place of dwellings. So here we go. I see the stones.
The stones just like another one at the top.
See the stones? Now, this is the second time I'm coming back to these stones. I've never met anybody that's been here twice, except for him. He's been here 50 million times.
Closer to 350 than 300. I've never properly added that.
But
a lot of guides don't like coming.
Look at them from a distance. They're very imposing, right? I love that. You made it.
I made it. Third time was the charm.
Yeah.
Third time to England was the charm. Made it.
What do you think?
What do I think?
Yeah.
I gotta get closer first.
Okay. First impressions from a distance? Stay there.
Henge of stone.
Okay. The henge of stones.
And there's stone that's
Why it's
standing.
called stone is obvious, but a henge
What is a henge?
is an archaeological term. It's a circular ditch and banked enclosure. Normally with the ditch on the inside of the bank. No, that is the specific definition of a henge. So Stonehenge actually isn't a henge. When we get there, you'll see the bank's on the inside of the ditch, not the outside. Avebury is a true henge.
I was expecting it to be. Everyone
Yeah.
was telling me they're like, it's so much smaller than you think.
That's because somebody told you.
But
Like when I got here, I'm like, oh, this is it?
No, but like this is about the size I expected it to be,
Yeah.
even before somebody mentioned it. Like, it just,
It's actually the same for me. It's about the size I expected.
That's
I
interesting.
don't think it's small. I don't feel like, oh, it's so much smaller than
I've
I
had many
thought.
people say it's smaller than I imagined.
Yeah.
Every surrounding hillside, you've been able to see this. If you look way off in the distance, you can see a hill over there.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's overgrown. There used to be a chalk quarry on that, and when the sun hit, it shone brilliant white. You know, that's about 7 miles away. So if you were standing on top of that hill when this was built, this would have been clearly visible. You know, the whole point of this was to
It was
mark.
a way to mark it.
It was a way to mark a space. And the only reason for doing that is going to be ceremonial, it's going to be ritual. We don't know what they were, but we have some ideas. Some very good ideas.
If you step on,
There are numerous odd little stones
step on
that seem to sit outside the main circle. Most obvious one's away to the left. I'll come back to that one.
That
then.
one over there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's called the heel stone. That's very important. We'll come back to that. And you see one There's a small one down the side there.
Yeah.
There's another one here. These are the 2 of 4 that bracketed the whole structure on the solstice dates, the winter solstice and summer solstice. It would always rise and set within those brackets. To there and to there. It would, on those dates, Midsummer's Day, Midwinter's Day, it would never rise or set outside what is defined by these 4 stones. That is remarkable.
Yeah.
You know, one of the stones is gone. There's a marker post here that shows where it was. Put them stay instinctively today.
Yeah.
Because they were farmers.
Yeah.
They were reliant on the sun, to a lesser degree the moon.
Yeah.
That ordered their life. They understood how the days got longer and shorter. The sun would rise earlier, set later, how it get warmer, how it get colder. There's no way you can put the stones in the middle and get them up.
That's true.
For a start, there isn't room between the outer circle to get the big stones in.
Yeah.
And once you're in there, you can't get the necessary mechanical lift, the necessary ropes and levers that they would have used to get them upright. So that was planned.
Is this the one that was reinforced?
Yeah, that's right. You can
That
see
big
it.
one in the middle.
Yeah.
A number of others have been put upright. There's
Yeah.
concrete under the ground.
And that one fell.
Many have fallen.
Yeah.
Many have fallen. Most recent, the last one that we know to have fallen was in the late 1700s. We know that because there's various paintings of Stonehenge from that date which show it leaning precariously, and we know now it's toppled.
It's beautiful. The Stonehenge. Last time I was here, I was by myself with a guide. Today, I come back with the family.
Yep. Which makes it even better, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just zigzagging all again. You just have to. Yeah. Hey ho.
We're gonna circle around to the other side
So different.
and get different angles of this. Wow, look at that.
It's so much closer than I thought you would.
Mm-hmm.
Starting from that side, working around. But as they come round towards this side, they're less and less shaped. They're more rough and ready. Almost as if they're running out of time. We've got to get them up quicker. And some of the stones are barely the right size. We're just going to have to use it. We just won't bury it as deep as the others. So many have fallen because they were only down a couple of feet. Where some were, oh, this is too long. Rather than try and chop it shorter, which would take weeks of work, just dig the pit deeper and bury it deeper, which would take half a day's work. That's what they did. So these are actually, if you pull them on the ground, they're different heights. But towards the end of the construction, it's quite clear they're cutting corners in a big way, which suggests some sort of urgency. There was a massive social upheaval. I mean huge cultural upheaval at the time, just after Stonehenge was built. There was already evidence of migration of people from Europe moving north across Europe and crossing into the southern shores of these islands. And these were people bringing with them, we know that they had different types of jewellery, different types of you can track them. Coming immediately behind them was yet another wave of immigration. This time people were bringing with them metal tools and weapons. This was the birth of the Bronze Age. Unlike migratory patterns around the world have tended to be assimilatory, communities mix and mingle eventually. When metalworking technology arrived, that stopped happening. There was no mingling of people with metal technology and the people without. One moved in, the other disappears from the record. Now either they move away or they die out very quickly. In the space of a few generations this was happening. We know that because of the DNA record from human remains that have been found. The DNA of the people with metalworking technology is completely different from the DNA of the people with stone technology who came immediately before them. No crossover, no intermingling. It changes. So people were migrating to get away from the people with the metalwork. let's face it, you're there with your stone hammer
Stone thing, and
and
somebody else
stone
comes
spear
with a
tip.
saw or
I have
whatever.
my 3-foot-long bronze sword. I'm winning this fight.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's not just that side of it. It's, you know, it'll take you 3 days to chop a big tree down with your stone axe. I'll do it in an afternoon
Yeah.
with my bronze axe.
Yeah.
And everything you do, your technology, that new technology is going to change things. And this isn't technology they would share. This would be a close to guarded
This would be
secret.
yeah.
Stone way up in the distance. Now, imagine the horizon beyond it with no trees. If you were standing here at about 4:50 a.m. in the morning on the 21st of June, Midsummer's Day, the sun would rise directly in that gap. And that is the central axis of the stones. Now, it has been designed for that to happen. So the midsummer sunrise, the shortest night of the year, the earliest sunrise of the year, happens on the centre line of Stonehenge, which is quite remarkable, but could be a coincidence, some say. Well, 6 months later, 21st of December, the midwinter solstice, if you were to go in 180 degrees opposite direction, the midwinter sunset would be directly opposite the midsummer sunrise. That doesn't happen everywhere. To get that phenomena, you have to be 51 degrees 14 minutes north of the equator or south of the equator. That's why Stonehenge is here,
Wow.
because it picks up on that opposite sunrise sunset at the two different solstices.
How did they know that?
If you go 10 miles that way, it doesn't work. There's a slight dogleg.
Yeah.
How do they know?
But how did they know that exactly? That
Yeah.
this location right here?
Generations of watching. Some people claim outside intervention. I wasn't there. I don't know.
People always blame aliens. Oh, it's the aliens. It's
But
gotta
it's
be.
quite a remarkable coincidence, you know. That's why Stonehenge is built roughly here. Now these times, these solstices are going to be quite important for people, farming people. You know, the midwinter, it's the end of the darkness, the rebirth of a new year.
Oh yeah, you can see 3 or 4 of them. Yeah.
These are Bronze Age burial mounds on the next ridgeline.
Oh yeah, I see him.
And if you look beyond up
Yeah.
the tree line on this horizon, yeah, the whole load just out of sight here. For every ridgeline around here has a line of burial. It's almost like being buried inside of these stones. Was
Yeah.
part of it. Even though this is a later culture with different burial practices. Now these mounds represent individual burials.
Just chilling with my little homie
Again,
right there,
this is
my
the
boy
elite
Crow.
of a later culture.
Hi.
Me and him go way back.
Hi, Crow.
Hey, where you going?
Would you like
man?
something?
Now you gonna act like you don't know me because there's a camera on you? Wow, that's so interesting.
Come on, go with us. Follow us. Yeah, come on.
Yeah, see, there we go.
Come on.
Now we walking away. Hey, yo,
We all go the same way. We want you to come with us. Come on. That crow is following us now. He was speaking to me earlier, so I answered him. Now he decided, okay, I'll follow you. What you got for me?
Shit, I'm rocking with y'all. Y'all rocking with me. We all black, so we're
See, he's hanging out. And that was Stonehenge. I love this site. I love to come and see this site. So this is Avebury, the other Stonehenge that we came to see in this little town. And so we're going to take the little tour as we walk through this town. Interesting. Those bug traps or something. But very small town. The larger stones, well, not larger exactly, but it's bigger, as in longer, as opposed to the other henge. This is a true henge, you said?
This is a true henge, defined by its ditch and bank,
Yeah.
with the ditch on the inside of the bank.
Okay.
Now, if you're going to build this as a defensive fortress,
Yeah.
you would have the bank ditch on the outside and the bank on the inside.
Yeah.
So an attacker would have to go all the way down to the bottom before he comes
He
up.
comes up, and so you can poke him in the eye with a blunt stick.
This is designed to keep people out.
Oh, look, it's an obelisk.
Yeah. This is modern. This was put in the 1930s
1930s.
to mark where stones once stood. And many of the standing stones we see, we know are in the wrong place. They've been put back into situ.
Uh-huh.
And some of them, the actual hole underneath is too big, it's extended or it's maybe made smaller. You know, you can see from the radius of this curve that you know, this is 570 yards across, almost a complete circle. Most of the village is built inside the henge.
Oh.
Oh, really?
Yep. And within the henge were two major circles, a north and a south. So you're then, this is the south circle on this side, the north circle over on the other side of the pub. So two circles, and within each of those circles was what they call a sanctuary. Another, like imagine a churchyard with a church in the middle.
Yeah.
It's like another sacred place. They call it sacred place, using the assumption that this was probably a religious centre.
Yeah.
But exactly what it was and how it was used, we have no idea.
Avebury. Some very large stones. Looks like wherever they quarried this from, the water was trying to drill through.
And this would have been part of the inner sanctuary. Whether that was a marine
Yes.
ritual site or we know roughly how old it is. It corresponds to the early phases of Stonehenge. We don't know how long it took to build. We know nothing of the people who built it. We don't know where they lived. Was it the same people building Stonehenge, building this at the same time? We don't know. We do know they'd have known about each other.
Yeah.
The main stones at Stonehenge, I said they brought 20 miles. They came from about 4 miles in that direction. It's where they quarried the Stonehenge stones.
Oh.
So you cannot have two constructions like this
No,
within a
those are
day's
different.
walk of
Yeah,
each
yeah,
other
yeah.
Yeah.
without them being totally aware of it.
But have they not done? Do they not know anything because they haven't done any archaeological work?
A certain
Or-
amount, quite a bit has been done, but nothing like the intensity at Stonehenge. Nothing like it.
Somebody needs to invent a time machine so we can go back and find out.
You know, the best dating material they found here are in the bottom of the ditch. Deer antler. Deer antlers are used as picks, where the antler grows out of the deer's skull. You've got the main shaft of the antler. Always at the bottom, there's one little single prong. That is your pickaxe. You find an old antler, chop it off to it's about that long, you get the main shaft with that single prong. And that prong, you just put in a crack in the chalk, hammer it in, you can break out a big lump of chalk. Because deer antler is very flexible, it's springy, it's very resilient, but eventually it will break.
Yeah.
And that little end bit will snap off. They just left it there. So the archaeologists, they will very occasionally find that stuck in there. And that is the best dating image you ever That the deer antler will give you radiocarbon dating.
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah, the carbon.
And because it's organic material,
Yeah.
and it will be from the time it hasn't moved since it was done. So it's perfect.
Can you imagine being the labor force that brought these stones here from 4 miles away from the quarry? And the one from Stonehenge, I think, was 80 miles. They carted them. But this is amazing. Wow.
Yes, where'd we go?
So that was the story of the stones. We went to Stonehenge, Avebury, and then the village that they settled, where the people that built the Stonehenges lived, which was the first site. And now we're finishing up here at Avebury. We're gonna head back to the car and drive back to London. It's about 2 hours from here. So I'm saying thank you very much for watching. If you haven't done so already, please consider subscribing to this channel so that you can get notifications whenever we upload a new video. And lately we've been doing it almost every day. So if you like the content that you're viewing on this channel, please consider subscribing and then hitting the like button and tap the notification bell so that you'll be notified every time we upload a video. And goodbye. We'll see you next time. Peace out.
Funny little story. Many years ago, probably I took a family doing the day we're doing, go to Stonehenge, and we did the day. I told them everything I knew, got them back, and they said thank you, it's a great day out. Just got one question: what does Neolithic mean? So I just made this assumption everybody knew it, so it's not clearly not the case. I'm going to be talking a lot about the Neolithic because Stonehenge is all about the Neolithic. It simply means it's Greek for the new Stone Age. The Stone Age, we think of the Flintstones, the cavemen. That was just the early part of it. 95% of the Stone Age was the early cavemen phase, the Paleolithic, the ancient Stone Age. And then right at the end of the Stone Age, a period probably no more than 3,000 or 4,000 years, from about 8,000 years ago to about 4,000 years ago. And this is called the Neolithic, the new Stone Age. These people were the first farmers. So they had stopped following the grazing animals, they'd stopped living in caves, they'd started planting crops and tending flocks and herds of grazing animals. So, why are we here? One of the mysteries of Stonehenge, Stonehenge by the way is about 2.5 miles in that direction. One of the mysteries of Stonehenge has always been, where did the people who built it live? Because nowhere in the Stonehenge vicinity had they found archaeological evidence of habitation, which you would expect to find. There was a major archaeological project started by a guy from the University of Birmingham, Mike Parker Pearson. We don't need to worry about his names. He was an archaeologist, and he had a theory that this site in front of us, which had been known about for a long time, may have been the site of the habitation for the people who built Stonehenge. So if we look, what we're looking at in front of us is a ditched and banked enclosure on a vast scale. If you look on the far side of the field, you can just make out there is a bank running around. Part of it's got a little picket fence across it.
Yeah.
That loops around in a circle. It drops down the valley along the line of this scrub hedge in front of us, across the modern road, and curves around that field. You can just make out where the grass changes colour. That is the bank running around to make this complete circle. About 500 yards across. And they started digging. And within days of starting to dig, they started to find what he'd hoped to find. They found houses. Not standing structures, but the archaeological traces of houses in the ground. of exactly the style they expected to find for the Neolithic.
About 100 strong people to move this stone.
You think you can pull it?
I have no idea. I'm gonna try though.
Get your chance.
Those lights, they do light up. I've got it down to 80 in the past. Yeah, you're light. Yeah, you lit up to there, didn't
90. All right, that's cool. I got the strength of 10 better. I'll take it.
Here, hold this.
No.
It's not moving.
Hey, you got 92. You did good. Good job.
I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, I don't think I have either.
I broke a couple of ribs. I've got a couple of broken ribs from before Christmas, so I'm pulling nothing.
And in those days, they didn't have horses to help, did they?
No, they had horses. We don't know if they were riding them. We know they were eating horses.
Okay.
There's plenty of evidence of slaughtered horse bones.
Wow.
See, wooden timbers driven into the ground. This gets you up off the cold, damp floor when you're sleeping.